Good morning, students. Welcome to your economics class. Now we are on chapter 7, बच्चे, and it is your third lecture on your chapter 7, measures of correlation. I just want to introduce you with the topics we have already completed. So till now we have completed, as you are seeing, we have completed about the meaning of correlation. It is been denoted by R, which is called its coefficient. We are measuring basically the coefficient of correlation which lies between -1 and 1. Means value of correlation coefficient cannot be less than -1 and it cannot be greater than 1. Then we have discussed about the types of correlation, that is positive and negative correlation. Then we have discussed about linear and non-linear correlation, and then we have done about simple, multiple and partial correlation. In negative and positive correlation, I have told you about if one variable increases, the other variable will also increase, and if one variable decrease, other variable will also decrease. Such a relationship is called positive correlation. In case of negative, the scene was opposite, that if one variable will increase, like here it is being shown to, if one variable will increase, your another variable will decrease. If one variable will decrease, your another variable will increase. These were the two tables which were showing you about your negative correlation. Then the topic which we have already discussed till now, that is your linear correlation. Means after plotting you will get a positive sloped straight line where your correlation coefficient value will be +1, and it can be negative form also. If one variable increase and other will decrease, in that form you will get a negative sloped straight line. So as you know that if you are plotting here 4 values, 1 2 3 4, this one will be your fifth, and here also you will plot 4 1 2 3 4, and this one will be fifth. If you will join this point of y corner to the x corner straight away with the scale, you will get a negative slope line, according to which you can judge and interpret about the correlation coefficient in your scatter diagram. The next one is बच्चे your non-linear or curvilinear correlation. In that I have told you that after plotting you will find a shape in form of curve. This curve can be positive sloped also, and this curve can be in this shape, that is your negative slope also. After that we have done about simple, multiple and partial correlation. In this we have just done simple, means when we are finding about correlation between two variables. Multiple means when we are finding correlation about 3 or more variables. Partial means when we are finding correlation about such an example in which factors affecting are so many, but we are taking only 2 and rest others we are taking constant. Then after that you have done about these various degrees of correlation. This was the table, and then again this value was mentioned that correlation coefficient lies between -1 and 1. Means either it cannot be less than -1, it cannot be greater than +1. Then was our scatter diagram, coefficient of correlation, then Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. Then we have discussed in yesterday's lecture, we have discussed about your scatter diagram method of correlation, interpretation of scatter diagram, perfect positive correlation, that when if you draw this PSL line and after plotting if you get these points on the same line of PSL, you can say that you are having perfect positive correlation. Same is the case of your perfect negative correlation. When you have already drawn your NSL line and all the points lies on that NSL line, in that case it will be your perfect negative correlation. I hope you are getting my points. And after this बच्चे, there was your positive correlations, then was your negative correlations, and then there was your no correlation. And after that I have given you one example and few questions to do. So today we will be doing second method, that is Karl Pearson coefficient of correlation. What we will be doing? Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. It is been given by Karl Pearson in 1890. It is also known as product moment correlation, or it is also known as simple correlation coefficient. It is written two times, sorry. Simple correlation coefficient. It is denoted by R. It does not have any unit. The formula is given here, that is sigma small x into small y. N into, it is multiplication sign. This is your multiplication sign. So I have put here brackets. Here बच्चे, what you are seeing, that what is n? N is number of pairs of observation. How many observations are given in the table? What is your x? That is deviations from of x series from mean, that is x minus x bar. Y is your deviation from y series, that is y minus y bar. Mu x is your standard deviation of x series, that is sigma x square small x square upon n. Mu y is your standard deviation of y series, that can be your sigma small y square upon n. And what is your R? R is coefficient correlation. We can also find a relationship between coefficient of correlation, and also we can get a new formula of covariance. One formula we have done in standard deviation chapter. One formula can be this also, that is covariance can be sigma x minus x bar y minus y bar upon n, where x minus x bar is your small x and y minus y bar is your small y. So you can do sigma xy upon n, sigma xy upon n. This formula which we have done in here, that this one is the formula. We can reframe this formula by doing some changes, and that changes are like this. That is, I have substituted some value. I have first of all separated this in product form. I have written all the three. Then to mu x I have given this value, to mu y I have given this value. After giving the value, I was having 2n, so I have taken from pair of 2 and I have taken that n I have cut from this n, and I have reached at this formula, that is sigma xy upon sigma x square into sigma y square. Then according to the need of the question, we can check which formula to use, this one to use or this one to use, and this is your formula of covariance. Now बच्चे, finally we arrived this, that R was sigma xy upon sigma x square into sigma y square. This is your small x, and that your small x is x minus x bar, and your small y is y minus y bar. You have to see about which x and y we are talking. Either we are talking about small one or we are talking about the bigger one. Then बच्चे, here is Find the coefficient of correlation. I have to find the coefficient of correlation from these given information. N is 30 here from X and Y also. So total number of pairs are 30, and your standard deviation of X series is 3, standard deviation of Y series is 2, and your N value, that is complete of sigma XY value, is given 150. That is given 150. Now you have the values given. N is equal to 30, mu X is equal to 3, mu Y is equal to 2, and your sigma XY is minus 150. The formula which we have done in starting, in the same formula we can use, because we have already been having the value of mu X and mu Y. So we will find this value, that 150 upon 30, N is 30, mu X is 3, mu Y is 2. We will put 150 upon 180, and after dividing, as I have already told you how to divide these values, you will divide 0 and 0 will cut, and you will divide this 15 by 18. How you will do? Like this you will do 15 divided by 18, and then it is not going, so 0 will come. Then 1 0 you take from your side, then point you put, then it will come 144, then 6 is remaining, 1 more 0 you bring, then it will give 54, then 6, then 1 more 0, that is 54. So this was what your calculation was there. So बच्चे, after getting this value according to the degree coefficient degrees table, you can find it that it is a fairly high degree of positive correlation. Here are two questions in front of you, question number 6 and question number 7. Find the standard deviation of Y, means you have to find the value of mu Y. If your R value and covariance value is given, and your mu X whole square value is given to you 64. So one hint is given. First of all, you will find, you are given the value of this is 10, and then this you will do under root, and you will get the value of mu X, and you will put the value of R is equal to 0.25. You will put in the formula, and easily you can get all the answer. You put in, use same formula. As mu X mu Y relationship is there, so you have to use this formula. So you can easily do this. One more question is there, that is question number 7. It is also similar. So these two are your homework. Then in next, this is बच्चे your calculation of Karl-Pearson coefficient correlation. All the formulas I am discussing you with today. Tomorrow we will do the numericals on the basis of all these formulas. So what is actual method? R is equal to sigma x y under root sigma x square multiply sigma y square. What is x and y here? As you already know that x is x minus x bar, y is y minus y bar, your x square is x minus x bar whole square, and your y square, small y square, is y minus y bar whole square. The next one is your direct method. In your direct method, beta, n, what is n? N is your number of pairs. Sigma x and y, here and here there is some difference. Here it is small x, here is capital X. So the whatever the values are given, that you have to product. You have to multiply x, you have to multiply y, and then this is the total of x and y. So what we can say that, what is your this sigma xy? It is your total of product of x and y. Then this is your total of x column, this is your total of y column. Then here you are having, this is your total of x square column, where you are doing all the square of x values and then you are finding total at last. Then this is your sigma x, already you know, total of x column. Then in the same way it is your total of y square values. First of all you are having y, then you will square all the values and then you will get sigma y square, that is total of y square values, that will be multiplied by n. And then this is your sigma y. First of all you will write the total of y column and then you have to square that total at last. The next one is your shortcut method. In this shortcut method, the formula which you will be using, that formula is n into sigma dx into dy minus sigma dx into sigma dy upon sigma dx whole square minus sigma dx. Here beta it is whole square of only dx and here it is whole square of sigma dx square. So you have to take care while calculations. Here again beta n into sigma dy then whole square, and here it is minus sigma dy whole square. So there is difference between the two. This one is different and this one is different. What is dx here bache? Now dx is your x minus a when you take deviations of assumed value from x column. This you have done so many times in your mean method also. You have done it in your standard deviation also. So the same thing you have to use here also. This is your deviations from y. So I think you have come to know about what is your dx, what is your dy, and what could be your dx square now. Whatever the value you will get in this column, you have to just square them up. And what is your sigma dx square? It is the total of dx column. Whatever value you will get in dx, then at last you have to write them and you have to square them all. And what is this? This is your first square, total of square of dx square. Getting my point? This is your total of dx square and this is your square of total of dx. Again I am telling, this is square of total of dx column. This is your total of dx square column. Total of dx square column. So what is your dx square? It is your x minus a whole square. Whatever value you are getting, you have to square. In this column, whatever you will get, you have to square them up. Here also it was the same. It was your total of x square column and it is your total of x column, then its square. So you have to use these formulas very carefully. The next one is your step deviation method. In this the formula is in this way: dx dash dy dash sigma dx dash into sigma dy dash and then is your n into sigma dx dash whole square, then sigma dx1 bracket and whole square, then n into sigma dy dash, and dy dash is in whole square, sigma is outside, sigma dy dash both inside bracket and whole square. And what is your dx dash here beta? It is x minus a upon c, that is your d, maybe that can be your dx upon c. You have to choose a value from the x column and c value from the x minus a column. Same is your case with your dy dash, that is y minus a upon c, and it is your dy upon c. Similarly you have to do this. You have to take care here again. It is the first of all square of dx dash column, then its total value you have to use, and here is total of sigma dx dash column, and then you have to do square afterwards. This value you will get from table already in square form. This value you have to get in table, this much you will get, and after that you will do square. Same is the case here also. Hope you have understood this, and thank you. Have a nice day. Tomorrow we will be doing the questions on all the formulas which I have discussed today. So if you're from your own and you want to do some practice, you can do it. And that's all was for today. Listen to this video carefully. Thank you and have a nice day.